In the mid-1800s, a plan for insane asylums stretched across America called the Kirkbride Plan. The plan believed in exposing patients to natural light and a beautiful environment would heal their soul. After the Civil War, it left many physical and mental scars, leaving insane asylums to overflow.
That overflow affected Michigan's lower two insane asylums, Kalamazoo's and Pontiac asylums. Perry Hanna, the founding father of Traverse City, Michigan, knew his city was suffering from the lack of employment. So when he heard the Michigan council deciding where to take place the new additional asylum, he took action. Date, 1878. Dear Commissioners of the State of Michigan, immediate steps must be taken for the establishment, location, and erection of an additional asylum.
What are you doing?
Oh, Commissioner, this is for you.
It's so short.
Well, I'm not done writing it, but since you're here, so there's no need.
No.
No? What do you mean no?
No, our additional asylums at the moment are fine, and especially Pontiac's asylum just opened 2 months ago. How can it be overflowing right now?
Fine? I'm sorry, sir, but Pontiac and Kalamazoo's asylums are overflowing right now. They're anything but fine right now.
Okay, I'll consider it bringing it up in the next commissioner meeting for right now. In the time being, you need to shut your mouth.
Thank you, sir.
In 1881, the Michigan legislature held a meeting for the new additional asylum, similar in plan, purpose, and grade of provision to the asylums already built.
Perry Hanna had a massive reputation and much respect at the time, which influenced the decision of the asylum's location, Traverse City.
Construction began in 1883. 9 million bricks that came from Cedar Lake would be delivered for the asylum's construction. Built in 2 years, that was almost unheard of, spanning a quarter-mile long and 350,000 square feet. To hold its place in time, the asylum was advanced for its time because it was one of the first to have electricity, central heating, and indoor plumbing. George Lloyd was hired by Perry Hanna and other commissioners to be head architect to design the Up North Michigan Asylum, modeled in accordance of the Kirkbride Plan, which required every patient to have a view outside, fresh air, and sunlight.
In 1885, the construction was finished. When November came around, the asylum opened its doors to its first patients. Dr. Munson, as superintendent, believed that nature could heal the soul. He named his belief beauty is therapy. He made sure every patient had a sight of the bay from their window. In place of the Kirkbride Plan, large windows were placed, exposing natural light and large spikes at the very top of the building to provide clean and fresh air to the patients. It was believed that if bad air quality was in the hospital, it could cause mental illnesses.
Dr. Munson also believed in work as therapy belief, giving patients a purpose. A laundry room, powerhouse, firehouse, and bakery were all constructed and operated by patients, making the asylum very independent and not needing any help from the city. As the asylum's population grew, new additional cottages were set in place for patients. A total of 12 cottages and 2 infirmaries were built. Patients were put into cottages, judging by their gender and disease. For instance, say a patient is identified as a male and was diagnosed with organic heart disease. They'll go to a type of cottage for that illness.
Come in.
Doctor, I have a recommendation, if I may.
You may.
What if we start a nursing program here? It would benefit our patients and save staffing costs. I already found some ladies that may be interested.
Oh, I really like that. Thank you for the recommendation. I'll certainly consider it. Oh, and Nurse Lise?
Yes?
How are the patients doing?
They started their own baseball and football team. So far, I think they're doing really good.
Oh, wow. Hopefully they don't think that we're being too harsh on them, giving them jobs to do on campus.
No, of course not, sir. The patients love working on laundry and farming duties. This place is becoming very self-sufficient. It's like our own little city.
Yes, I agree.
As Nurse Lee suggested, the first group of nurses graduated from the asylum's nursing program in 1913. This program continued many decades after Lee's departure. One of the main reasons why the asylum was so successful was because of the experienced nurses. On March 12, 1915, Traverse City's only general hospital burns to the ground. It was called the Smith Sanitarium. Dr. Munson donates the asylum's dwelling house, one of the additional cottages unused by the asylum, for the use of a community's hospital. It is the first incarnation of what is now known as the Munson Medical Center.
1916, Cornlantha Walker, a world champion milking cow, was born. Over the last 16 years of her life, she produced over 200,000 pounds of milk in her years for the asylum's farm. After she died in 1932, the asylum made a gravestone in her name to honor her. People also put up a statue of Cornlantha the cow recently on August 23, 2022.
The Insane Asylum's nursing program ended in 1947 due to a shift in nursing education. Over 400 women plus some men graduated from this program. For 41 years, the training school for nurses provided thorough and rigorous training in the art and science of patient care. In the 1940s, the patient population grew to 3,600 people, certainly striking the asylum with flashbacks of Pontiac and Kalamazoo's asylums. Fortunately, over the next decades, the population fell rapidly, but now leaving some buildings and cottages unused. The state government and locals start considering what to do with these extra buildings. 1978, the asylum is placed on the National Register of Historic Places, being noted as one of the last Kirkbride buildings in Michigan. While the 80s may have seemed fun, it wasn't fun for everyone. In the early 1980s, the government deinstitutionalized insane asylums. They stopped funding for mental health institutions, which led up to many of them closing, which included yours truly, the Traverse City Insane Asylum. 1989, the asylum closed, which 200 jobs were lost. Patients were allowed to go to their home now, but some didn't have some, and many were left homeless. Kicked out of the home they've really only known, many continued to live in the abandoned asylum. The asylum remained abandoned for a decade. The city even threatened to destroy the asylum, until the Minervini group bought it in the early 2000s from Traverse City for just $1. Too good to be true? It might be. But it was a risk that they were willing to take. Even 23 years later, they're still continuing this mission. A mission to create a vibrant community where people shop, live, and eat. Today, old patient rooms are now Airbnbs and apartments, plus holds over 30 retailers and businesses.
Although only 66% done, it's one of America's biggest historical revelations. Today, the laundry room is now a winery.
And today, the kitchen is now a restaurant named Pepe Nero. Thanks to the foresight and vision of Ray Minervini, this wonderful facility will serve the community and future generations for the next 100 years.